Welcome to Align Trading, going over today's SPY recap and live analysis before taking a look at what to be watching into tomorrow. So first thing that I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members today was to be watching if there was some sort of tapering forming right here with this white algorithm. And you can see this head and shoulder that is forming, and we open up right here, forming that and closing this inverse cup down to that 602.35 level eventually. Now, I did explain that if there was to be a move up, you would want to be seeing this form right here if we were to hold this first level. Otherwise, right, pay attention to this dip and how this can still be the blue and yellow controlled selling, trying to form that inverse head and shoulder to eventually close that cup, which you can see we did here in the after hours. But this blue and yellow controlled selling is working on the way up here. So now here on the 1 minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms, you can see here in the morning off of the open, we start to build this blue and yellow algorithm right here, which is this controlled selling, as there is no continuation within that yellow. We also start to see this pink algorithm that does start to form later, but until that point, right, you can see how we start to form that inverse head and shoulder I explained to be watching right there, and we close that cup back at the high of day. Now from there you want to be seeing this handle forming, right, and this is where this pink algorithm comes in. You want to see that inverse head and shoulder with that cup and handle that does not form. So with no handle here to break out, you see how we start to form this head and shoulder, as well as closing that inverse cup at the low of day. And there is that handle once again for some sort of a move down right there to that 602.35 level that we were talking about on the 30-minute chart that we wanted to see closing out. With this here on the 30-minute chart, I was explaining, right, have to be paying attention to that head and shoulder that was starting to form right there, and that eventual target of this first level, and then ultimately the 5-day moving average, which was down here as well, if we wanted to form an inverse cup to it before maybe we start to bounce, build more liquidity, and head up within that yellow and blue, or we did form some sort of handle and did start to head down more, grabbing this liquidity right here. Now after that move down to that 602.35 level, you can see, right, how we are starting to taper right here within that pink algorithm. You can see how this is building right here, and we start forming that inverse head and shoulder. Now from here, I'm explaining that you have to be paying attention. If we do close this cup back at this level, we need to be seeing that handle forming from here, and then that continuation. Now, if you were looking to short this right here, you need to be seeing this inverse cup back to that 602 level again, at least a head and shoulder, right, and begin to head down to that 5-day moving average below that level, which we could not form. And you see how we build that very clearly within that blue and pink algo for that inverse head and shoulder. Now, after we could not form a handle and rejected this level here once again, closing this inverse cup back to that 602.35 level that again we want to see breaking, but we lack this handle that I'm explaining to be watching for right here. And without that handle, well, we are not going to head down. And sure enough, you can see how we start forming that inverse head and shoulder here once again, as well as closing that cup back to this level. So with this right here breaking above this level and now holding, I explained that you have to be paying attention for this inverse head and shoulder right there. You can see how we start to form that, and to be looking for the cup to close at this level. Now with this here on the 30-minute chart, you can see how we form that right here. Takes quite some time, very choppy, but there is that inverse head and shoulder and forming support right here off of that. You can see how that is this cup and handle also, and then another cup. You can see that handle within this blue and pink. So some scalps there, but overall, just a choppy day. You can see here at the end of the day, we do not get this follow through right there until the close, which finally gives us that move up towards that target that I was explaining here at yesterday's high. Now, going over what to be watching into tomorrow, nothing has really changed. We are still within this range. We do have this 5-day moving average below, but ultimately we are looking for this continuation. So if we do get a hold and retest of that, look for higher tomorrow. Otherwise, if we do set some sort of double top right here, even if it does take a little bit more above, we could start to see something like that form, grabbing this liquidity and finally trying to break that level. But if we do head down again, right, watch for this 5-day moving average, as this can be an area where we do see a bounce unless we close the cup and form some sort of resistance. The daily, you can see that the upper Bollinger is starting to come down. So if we do start to get a move towards that, be paying attention. Otherwise, need to be seeing us losing this 5-day moving average in order to get a move down. This is continuing to trend up still, what we want to see. Now, we did have some tech earnings after hours today, and then there is some news tomorrow along with Powell speaking, so pay attention to that. But that is all I have for the video, so thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.